Writing in the mail, Laura Mackler has been describing the effect a relationship breakup had on her views of being on her own. She says, aloneness is still associated with all kinds of negative emotions, loneliness, depression and feelings of being a loser. However, instead of being bored and lonely, living on her own, she began to see things from a different perspective and her priorities began to crystallise. She says it's about being your own cherished soulmate. So, how easily can being alone lead to feelings of loneliness? Is it always a bad thing?
I don't think so. I had never lived on my own. I have never lived on my own, in fact. And when my separation occurred, I suddenly was on my own, but with my daughter.
When did he leave you again?
3 years ago on April Fool's Day.
and
he wasn't joking.
Yeah.
I know. It's true. And so it's the first time I've sort of on my own without a friend, but I did have my little girl lives with me. But I found it very difficult to get used to sort of just being in my own space like that. But I didn't get lonely. I did try and sort of fill my time though. So when she would go to her dad's for a weekend, I at that time was filling it from like one end to the other because I had to be doing something with people. And it took me a good year and a half really, I suppose, to sort of understand that it's all right and to enjoy just being at home on my own.
To be on your own, yeah.
And kind of enjoy my own company.
It is. It's hard though, isn't it? Because, I mean, I would say that I was very lonely in my marriage. Far lonelier than I've ever been since we split up. And on my own, I've gathered strength now. But, you know, I was with that other person and I was so desperately lonely. But now, I do have moments, of course, of loneliness. I mean, I miss somebody cuddling me and I miss big things round me, arms, like a big, you know, I miss all that. But, you know, I don't have anybody to answer to. You know, when you eventually on your own, I don't have to ring anybody, I don't have to tell anybody where I am, I don't have to clock in. I can have a drink when I want to and they'll be going, oh, you're having another one, are you? And so I do find being on my own, I mean, it would be very hard for me now to actually have anybody living in my house. I couldn't have a man there. You know, the toilet seats, the washing, the socks.
I think you could get the right man.
Do you?
Yes.
But also, if you met someone, you may not have to actually
live
with them. I met somebody recently. I was with my friend at a bar, and we met this older couple. They were in their 70s. Lovely, lovely couple. And we were talking to them, and then they were sort of getting ready to go, and he said something about that he had to drop her off, and they'd already said that they'd got married a couple of years ago, and we went, drop her off, and he'd be, oh no, we don't live together. Oh. And we were like,
no, I don't
sorry.
Like that.
But no, they said, oh no, at our time of life, you know, we really want our companionship, but we'd rather not mess up anybody's house.
Oh,
keep it separate.
There's no point in getting married then, is there?
Well,
no one left on April Fool's Day. You've had periods of aloneness.
Yes, when my marriage split up, and it is quite scary because, like you, I'd never really been on my own as such. So it does take a while to get used to. But then I kind of liked my own company, and what was great then was when I met Ray. I knew that if anything happened, I could be on my own, and that made me a much stronger, less needy person with him. And I love the fact I'm with him now because I want to be, not because I'm frightened of being on my own.
Yeah.
But I like having somebody to say sorry to.
do you?
You like somebody saying, are you having another glass of wine?
I do.
Do you?
And to go and pour it.
No, I do. You know, I love being with him, but it is empowering to know that I can do it on my own.
Yeah, but also I bet you were lonely in the marriage before. You see, it depends who you're with, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm a bit like you in that I sort of felt much lonelier in the wrong relationship than when I was on my own, and I really came to enjoy my own company. But like you, I've come full circle, and now if my husband's away on business, I have to have the radio on all night. I'm such a big sap.
Because I'm so lonely. No, you're not. You're a big wimp.
I am a big sap, aren't I?
Actually, the other thing is when you're in bed on your own, that's odd, isn't it? First of all, you know what I mean? And the other night I had a dream, and I was in this tent, and I got out my tent and rolled all the way down the hill, and I woke up because I'd rolled out of the bed and fell on my stool. Stool? Yeah, so you see, if anybody had been there, they would have caught me, wouldn't they? I know, so it's not good.
Alone and insane.
Yes.